Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. What a day. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101, 603, 37 degrees. And coming up here in about 6 minutes, we'll have your first opportunity to get to Oasis at the Rose Bowl. We give you a new keyword every day around this time. You can enter every day. It's going to go out the next couple weeks, the rest of the month. A full trip to Oasis at the Rose Bowl. So that's in about 6 minutes. We'll give you that first keyword. Coming up at 7:10, we have The Used at House of Blues and Clash with Kenzie. Beater and Trivia, you get those. And then at 8 and 9, we do Ticket Blitz Thursday. Let's go. It's Ticket Blitz Thursday. People have tickets for Garbage at the Salt Shed. You gave me a look. Did Garbage not warrant the air horns?
No, I liked that Kenzie sounded like an owl just a second ago in celebration of Garbage being Ticket Blitz Thursday. It sounds like a Tootsie Pop commercial.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 3. So that's awesome. Jack White, by the way, at the Salt Shed tonight and tomorrow. He was at the Cubs game yesterday.
Hey, not
I
bad.
know. I saw him with my friend. Got a picture with him.
Oh, yeah?
Annoying.
Was he nice about it? Because he's great when you talk to him. He's an awesome interview, but he also usually appears grumpy at Cubs games.
He wasn't smiling in the picture, but I don't know if he was nice about it because obviously I wasn't there, or I would have also gotten one, and I'd be less annoyed.
Yeah. And then he would have looked grumpy in your picture, too, probably.
I know, which I would have loved.
It's that great picture. He looks like Edward Scissorhands in that one Cubs meme picture from years
He
ago.
always looks like Edward Scissorhands.
God, that's awesome. Those two shows kind of creeped up pretty quick here at the Salt Shed for Jack White tonight and tomorrow. And that's why he's in town. So that's why he's at the Cubs game. He didn't just come here for a Cubs game.
A cold Cubs Texas Rangers game?
Yeah, you know what I want to do in April? I want to come in from Nashville and go to a game at Wrigley Field. I could just wait till July, it'd be nice.
Yeah, put me in the front row.
But I like it that when he comes to town for his shows, he usually almost always does it. He's been to tons of Cubs games.
Baseball guy.
Baseball fan, you know? Even though he's from Detroit with a Tigers fan.
Well, he was in Japan, too.
That's right. He was. So, checking also early from Paul, checking in from Buffalo Grove. What are the tickets for Ticket Blitz Thursday? Those are the Garbage tickets for the Salt Shed. Just to keep you updated there. All of Buffalo Grove, actually one of the highest percentage of Garbage fans in the country.
In Garbage the band, not Garbage the emotion.
Well, because yesterday, Case said to him, Brian goes, what's our Ticket Blitz Thursday? And Case goes, Garbage. And I go, is it bad or is it garbage? Like, I know what he meant.
So when he said Garbage, what was your first thought on what would be Garbage tickets for
I don't
Ticket
think I
Blitz
can
Thursday?
say that.
Kenzie, don't answer that question.
There's got to be one on
Case
the top of
is
your head.
begging me to not answer that question.
Because I had
I
a couple
can't
that
do
came.
it.
If you said Garbage, I'm like, oh boy.
Okay, you go. You just go. I'm not going to say anything.
Not Green Day. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Oh, my
kidding.
God.
Well, that would be really good.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I was being
I
just
actually
funny.
have one that's very popular that everyone would love that I'd be like, garbage. But I can't say that, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love it to be Green Day. I
know.
would die for another Green Day show. Wrigley Field last year was one of the best shows. I've seen them probably 15 times, and that was got to be the best time I've ever seen them at that show at Wrigley Field last year. Wrigley Field cleaned up with those shows.
No kidding.
So maybe Green Day someday here at Ticket Blitz Thursday. But today's Garbage. The band. It's not
The
Garbage.
band, not like it's not bad.
Yeah. You know what's garbage is this story that came out last night while we were all just kind of waiting to maybe just ease into the evening, maybe watch a little TV and go to bed, was the headline says it all. The wife of Weezer's bassist was shot by police and arrested for attempted murder.
Wait.
Kenzie, did you not see this?
Wait.
Are you just finding out, Kenzie, the story?
Hold on. Oh, you got to follow the trail.
Okay, go a little slower.
The wife
The wife of
Weezer's
Yup.
bassist.
Yes.
Who'd she shoot?
She was shot by police
Oh, she was shot by police.
and arrested for attempted murder because she shot back.
because she shot back. Why'd she get shot in the first place? I'm not victim blaming. I am just asking like what the story was. She probably shouldn't have been shot. I'd like to clarify.
Sounds like you're victim blaming.
No, I'm just actually like, what happened?
So this story is insanely bizarre as it started off with a hit-and-run case, and the cops were chasing the hit-and-run suspects that happened to go through the front yard of Scott Schreiner, the bassist for Weezer, his wife, Jillian Schreiner, home, and the cops go through the front yard. She goes out with a gun in her front yard thinking maybe, what's going on in my front yard? These people are running through it. Maybe she's trying to protect herself, and it's
Like
cops.
always walking outside when they hear stuff.
Yeah, with guns.
God.
And then the cops say, put the gun down, and she says no, and then she shoots, and they shoot, and she runs in the house. She actually got shot, not life-threatening injuries, but since she shot her gun and police were there, she's arrested for attempted murder.
Oh my gosh, she shot first. That sucks.
I don't know if it
For her
says
court case.
I'm trying to think of, let's see, if it's unclear if she shot first or if there were, the details are a little sketchy at the moment on that, is how that played out.
Wow, that is so messy.
But she definitely shot her gun and they shot their gun because she got shot and she ran in the house.
You cannot get scared, and this goes for the wife of Weezer's bassist, and it also goes for cops. You cannot shoot out of like fear. Like I think I see something, bang. Like you can't just do that.
Well, again, it's a strange situation because there just happened to be these guys that did something bad that were running through the yard. So there were criminals. There were some criminals there. You know what I mean? She's not a criminal, at least to start with, and the cops aren't criminals, but there were criminals running through the yard. They hit and run.
And none of them got shot?
No.
What are the odds?
Very low.
Yeah.
God, it's a bummer, huh?
It's a rub there. It's a big thing. So we'll see how this plays out, and we'll update you as the morning goes on with this story. We'll see what transpires.
What's crazy is Weezer's playing Coachella this weekend, and
Yeah.
they weren't on Coachella until a few days ago, because that's something that festival does a little bit different than Lala's. They'll add a big artist at the last minute. So this weekend, it just happens to be like, hey, Weezer's going to play a small stage in the early afternoon if you want to get there early. And now this story broke. This
Oh,
is
they're looking for a bassist.
and this is, I got to applaud our Q101 Facebook page. The comments on this story, which, again, you can read more about it on the Q101 Facebook page. A lot of Weezer puns at play, more than I realized were possible, and a lot of people saying this is the perfect opportunity to bring the original Weezer bassist Matt Sharp back into the band.
You know, it has to really suck for your wife to get shot and then be arrested for attempted murder. And then everyone's like, bring the old bassist back. Like, really? What a week.
A little quick, and there's no body, but the body's not cold yet, is what I'm trying to say.
People
It's also like a little respect. He's having a tough time.
people were really quick with those puns. Say it ain't so, sweater jokes. Whole lot of Weezer puns being thrown out immediately.
Sweater jokes.
I really was amazed by how quick and
And funny.
very funny. At one, I saw the first one. I'm like, okay, and then when it kept going, I'm like, well, good Lord, we've got a thread here now. You can check out our Facebook page. We'll update you each hour as the story goes on in the morning, and we hear more details on it. But really, a shocking story. We love Weezer when they come in here. They're such great guys, and we'll just see how it all plays out. But what we do know for sure, in a couple minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes away, roughly in that spot, we'll have a keyword for you, the chance to go see Oasis at the Rose Bowl. Stay here.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 with a fact that makes your brain go. You want an extra $90,000 a year? $90,000 a year. And I'll tell you what, it's so simple. I'm going to sound like the ShamWow guy again. We went down that wormhole with the ShamWow guy 2 weeks ago. Didn't know he had a complicated legacy.
Just like O.J. Simpson.
Well, not as bad as O.J. Simpson. Not in the same ballpark as O.J. Simpson. But had some controversy. It's a couple skeletons there. So here's the thing. $90,000 a year, an extra $90,000 a year. You don't have to work harder. It's actually something fun. It's super easy. In fact, you do this, it won't even cost you. It's not about investing money to get really easy. I'm not giving you a stock tip, but just some super easy way to make $90,000 a year.
Are you going to do it?
I'm thinking about it. It should be a real easy decision, but with my psychosis and OCD, I don't know if I can do it. I just don't know if I can do it. But I think everybody listening.
OnlyFans.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not OnlyFans.
Because you have a lot of hesitancy, which is like, I don't know if I want to bend over this chair, but I'm thinking about it for my daughter.
I don't think I would overthink bending over a chair for 90 grand.
Without pants on?
No pants on. Nobody else could be behind me.
Well,
Is that going to make the 90 grand?
I
I don't
make
know.
more money, so does mine.
Probably.
That's
so
the rub.
Kenzie's guess is OnlyFans. We'll put it there. In case, what do you think?
to make 90 grand a year.
And it really will make you happier. It's not something grueling or hurtful or tons of effort at all, really. No effort.
Is it bypassing, because you mentioned your psychosis and your OCD, is it bypassing all cleaning supplies and not cleaning for a year?
Ew.
That just really made me think.
But like Clorox wipes are expensive. Vacuum cleaners are expensive.
Yeah.
Dishwasher detergent, expensive.
You don't buy new vacuum cleaners like all the time. Though. You just keep using the vacuum
I
cleaner.
thought vacuum cleaners were one and done.
No.
Yep.
You're just throwing your Dyson out of the window.
I've launched them out the window.
Come on down to Walmart and buy your single-use vacuum cleaner. All right, well, listen, we'll come back here in 3 minutes and we'll tell you what that is. A super easy way and an enjoyable way to make $90,000 extra a year. You can keep your other job. It's all good. We'll tell you in 3 minutes. Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and the fact that makes your brain just go. This is a fun one because $90,000 a year extra you can have super easy, no extra effort. In fact, you'll be happier because it's not work. It's not spending money to make money. It's nothing like that. Kenzie said OnlyFans, which does require some effort and work, by the way. People that make a lot of money in that, just taking feet pictures. Eventually, you've got to come up with some new angles. It can be tough. And Case thinks it's not buying cleaning products anymore ever again, including throwing, vacuum cleaners. He believes they're single use. And they are expensive. They can be really expensive. It's none of those things. What it is, have an extra $90,000 a year, is getting a pet. Now, I screwed you a little bit on this one. It's not $90,000 in cash. It makes you as happy as making an extra $90,000 a year having a cat or a dog in your life.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you had a dog. What was your dog's name again?
We had a few. So
Or no,
Clarence.
What was the cat's name?
I had a cat named Salvador.
Salvador. I love Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where my great grandpa was from.
Uh-huh. And didn't that make you happy?
Not when he pissed on everything, then I had to get rid of him, so not really.
When he went
And then
to
I got yelled at like I was pissing on everything.
Wait, you pissed on everything after he pissed on everything?
No, but like my parents were yelling at me like, "You're a cat," and I'm like, I didn't do it. Like I don't know what to do. He doesn't speak English. I don't think.
I don't think.
Well, it might have been beneficial if you had taught the cat English.
I know. I'm like, hey, please stop doing that. We're both catching a lot of heat. Just relax.
So researchers in England looked at how much happier we are when we have a pet, and they managed to put a dollar figure on it. They say having a dog or a cat makes you as happy as earning an extra $90,000 a year. Now, we have a lot of dog and cat lovers out there, and whatever other animal you may have. I wonder if our listeners would say, I could not live without my pet. It makes me that much happier, like it's a child. A lot of people say that, and I understand that. I would like to have a dog, and you asked me, would I do this? Right now, I can't commit to it with just having a child right now, too. And adding a dog and going out and walking him in the rain, I don't think it would add happiness right now. Maybe later it will, but right now, I don't think I could do it.
Tristan asked me if we could get a pet, and I said, not one more living thing is allowed in this house. Not one more.
So we brought a dead squirrel home.
Brian, I say this as your friend, as your confidant, co-worker. Don't get a pet. You are not cut out for that lifestyle. There's no good that would come from an animal being in your house.
I love dogs, though. I've always loved them. My dad wouldn't let us have them, so I never had one.
Love dogs from a distance. Love dogs on Instagram. You would be so difficult if you got a pet.
I know, because like he's going to be like, well, Harper goes to daycare. What am I supposed to do with this thing? I want to break a couple hours a day.
But you didn't like animals, and now you have a dog, and it changed your life. It turns your perspective on things.
Brian is lucky enough to have known me to see the transition of my life from somebody that hated animals to now inheriting a dog with my girlfriend. The dog came with the girlfriend, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make the best of the situation. And now I love that dog more than anything in the world, but I tell my girlfriend all the time because she wants a pet pig and a pet cow and a pet cat and another pet dog. I go, once this dog is dead.
Old McDonald. What's her name?
I know. And she wants a farm. The problem is, I said, once this dog is dead, I said, we are taking a break from pets. You're not bringing a fish into this house, let alone anything else.
Here's the thing. Once you get them, no matter what, Brian, you can go out and get a pet today, and you will love that pet.
Right.
So much. But it's kind of like kids where it's like, was it a good idea? Because you love them so much. But you love them so much that it's ruining your life because you'll spend all your money and all your time and all your effort, and you're like, there's nothing left. It's the same concept. It's a lot of work.
All right, you guys sold me. I'm getting a dog today. There you go. Having a dog or a cat or a pet in your life will make you $90,000 a year happier, putting a dollar amount on it. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Oh, coming up in sports in a few minutes, the White Sox found a way to lose a game like they didn't lose in the history of last year, all of the worst, record in Major League Baseball. They didn't lose one game like this last year, but they did it last night. Like yesterday, they did this. Case, how you feeling?
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I just remember, not to get into it now, but, opening day, the White Sox win. They hit the ball. They pitch well. They gave me hope, Brian. And what is hope?
Dangerous thing in Chicago sports.
Dangerous thing in life in general. And boy, have the White Sox felt dangerous in the ways that they've lost the last 3 days. Not good.
It's got no place in here. Drive a man insane.
That's the Major League Baseball saying that to the White Sox. You have no place in here.
All right, one of the wildest stories of the last 12 hours that came out. Here's the headline. Wife of Weezer bassist shot by cops booked for attempted murder. We're going to lay it all out for you here, exactly, keep you up to date as it's 6:47. The facts are changing as we go along here, but here's what happened yesterday. So the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner was shot by cops during a wild chase in Los Angeles, and then she was booked for attempted murder. Why? Because she got shot. Why'd she get booked for attempted murder? Well, here's what happened. The California Highway Patrol and the LAPD officers responded to a hit and run yesterday afternoon on the freeway winding through the Eagle Rock neighborhood of LA near where they live. 3 suspects fled the scene on foot. One bailed out of the vehicle, climbed over a freeway embankment, and ended up on a residential street. They even stripped off some clothing to try to blend in with the neighborhood quickly.
Good heavens.
I know.
Wait, they took off clothing to try to blend in with the
The
neighborhood?
nudist area.
Oh, man, we feel out of place. Let me take this off.
I mean, after a hit and run, it doesn't say they robbed like an army surplus store and put on new clothes. They just took off some clothes.
And I would imagine it's a nice neighborhood. So, they're like, oh, hold on. Let me pull up my Dolce & Gabbana really fast.
So cops were scouring the area, and officers went into the backyard of a house where the suspect had fled. So Scott's wife, that's the Weezer bass player, Jillian Lauren, emerged from the couple's home next door with a gun in hand. Now, some stories say it's unclear whether she fired. Some say she did fire the gun at the suspects that were running through her house, or her yard, I should say.
And I think that's important to note. It's unclear on whether she fired, but all the reports that are saying that she did fire the gun are saying that she fired it in the direction of the suspects that were fleeing through her yard, not at the police officers that were trying to apprehend the suspects.
Who were not even there yet or on their way chasing the guy.
Yeah.
So she pulls out with that gun. You got to be careful with guns and who you're shooting at. Got to remember what's going on.
Hot take, Brian. What are you talking about?
Whoa,
what do you
Speak on
mean?
that.
I mean, I don't know her that well, but she walked out of the house with the gun, and a guy's running through her front yard, and it sounds like she just took a shot at him like in Duck Hunt. And just, let's assess the situation. Now, she could have been fearing for her life. Who knows? But that's what happened. At least we're not 1,000% sure if she fired the gun or not. Some stories are saying she did, some saying she didn't. Then the cops are right there behind the guy. They yell, hey, drop your gun. Stop it. Put the gun down. I'm paraphrasing.
Classic cop dialogue. That was like a pull string action figure.
Put the gun down, lady. wife of Weezer bass player.
She's like, you put your gun down.
She might
It
have
was like
said
a showdown. It was like an old Western.
Kenzie is 20 minutes into Tombstone. She's understanding how this showdown works with guns, the
Put your
duels.
gun down. You put your gun down.
You put your gun down.
You put yours.
So I will verify a little update on what I talked about at the beginning of the show. The cops appeared to be in uniform, too. I don't think they were undercovers because there's pictures on the scene of them arresting, actually, the suspect that was running through a yard. So they were wearing uniform. They said, hey, put the gun down. She didn't. She ignored multiple commands, and LAPD then said she pointed her weapon at the officers. They fired, striking her in the shoulder. She runs back in the house. 30 minutes go by. Then she comes out, and the babysitter, her and the babysitter come out of the house, which is wild for the babysitter to be sitting there going, what's going on out front?
Why is everyone going outside? This is the whitest response to a ruckus I've ever heard. If I hear all that, I make sure the door is locked. Like, just double check that. I'm not gonna go.
You guys got an escape room in the house?
No. Why would I say if I did?
I don't think that's going to stop people from saying, well, we're not going to that house. She's got an escape room. She's going to get in the
but
bunker.
you don't like to bring it up because people look for it.
Kenzie,
Like one of my friends sold her house and she had an escape room and they didn't list that like in the listings. They only told people who were seriously putting money down where the escape room was.
Interesting.
wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Kenzie, when there's a giant storm and the threat of a tornado, do you go on your porch and look at it? Because white people love doing that too.
Oh God. Like they put their hands in their pockets and stand outside. What are you doing? I don't go outside. Stay in the house.
Man, I run to the tornado.
I know. I love it. I feel like Bill Paxton and
Look
Twister.
at the cast of Twisters.
Oh, we know the cast.
Yeah.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
What I'm saying is, even if I hear gunshots, I'm running toward them for some reason. I don't know why.
I know. It's just the whitest response. There's a bunch of people outside. Let me grab my gun and go look. Why?
Let me grab my gun and go look.
Stay in your house.
I grabbed a steak knife. That's what I do. But, also, you got to imagine. So she runs back in the house. She's been shot by the police. The babysitter's there probably playing with Duplos or something with the kid.
Why did she have a babysitter if she was home?
Well, she's Weezer's bass player's wife.
Like a nanny?
They
Okay,
got
I'm just
money.
saying.
They got Weezer money. I don't have Weezer
I don't
money.
need to be watching these kids.
And so imagine you walk in. How do you explain that to the babysitter? It's just a flesh wound. I hit myself on a tree. Well, there's a bullet hanging out of your shoulder. What happened out there? Nothing.
Wait.
Why do you need to play it off? I would walk in and be like, oh my God, somebody shot me.
That's what I'm wondering. Why would you lie and be like, this wound on it's nothing. Don't worry about it. I bet what she said was, I just got shot.
I think, you don't want to alarm the kid. You don't want anybody crying. She probably already heard the kid crying all morning. I didn't get shot. Mommy's fine.
You know what? When mommy walks outside with a gun, I think you're opening the door. Transparency.
Possibly the baby didn't see the gun grabbed before she went outside.
What are we doing?
Maybe
Everyone could have stayed inside.
Maybe she keeps the gun in her mysterious escape room, and then the baby was nowhere near there, and we're kind of presuming what could have happened here. Either way, then she goes out and surrenders to the police after they'd shot her, and 30 minutes later with the babysitter, and she surrenders. Law enforcement said that she was taken to the hospital, treated for non-life-threatening gunshot wound, later booked for attempted murder. LAPD said officers removed a 9mm handgun at the residence. And the suspect was, by the way, was apprehended, the one that ran through her yard. There was two others that are on the loose still.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So she didn't hit the guy that ran through her yard either with the shots that she allegedly fired.
Where do they live?
In L.A., a neighborhood, is it called?
LA.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go out walk outside with a gun, you better live in Texas, okay? I don't know what you cannot live in LA and be like that.
A lot of guns everywhere, sadly.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to. If you're gonna be like, well, there was someone in the yard, you better live in like Texas if that's gonna be your response to shooting.
Understood, lady. You just standing your ground. I got you.
Someone who was in your yard, okay. Let me shoot him for you.
That's what I don't understand. Why it says she surrendered. What happened was a crime scene happened through her yard. She was a little eager to defend her territory, but did defend her territory.
That's one way to put it.
She got shot and then she had to surrender?
Because she pointed her gun at the cops.
Do we know?
She probably just couldn't see.
No,
though,
she
in
did do
fairness.
that.
Did she? Okay, is
yeah.
that confirmed? Okay.
Yeah, she didn't fire at the cops, but when they said put the gun down, she had her gun up. You can't do that.
Stressful situation, man.
But like, what if they
you
ran?
can't.
What
She
if the
needed to be
cops-
arrested.
Okay,
Yes.
but hear me out. if she's trying to shoot a moving target and the cops are chasing those people, they just moved in. She's like, whoa, I had no beef with the cop thing. You know, like, what are the odds? I didn't know that you guys were following up right into the scope.
It's like a lag on a video
Yeah.
game.
Like, oh my God, because you're so fast.
She shouldn't have shot at the dude, okay, that got run through a yard, unless he was saying, I'm going to kill you. Then you can shoot at him. That's the rule.
Or he was trying to get into the house. He wasn't trying, like, if a guy is, like, clearly trying to break into your home,
Yeah.
then it's, she heard a bush rustle. She was like,
This guy's walking around with his shirt
Rambo.
off going like, I wonder where Arnold Schwarzenegger's home is. He's trying to blend in, you see.
I mean, God forbid, like, what if I'm scared to trick or treat in her neighborhood that much?
Yeah. I mean, officers are in uniform, and you have a gun pointed at them. You should put it down.
I just imagine it being super dark out. I don't know why.
It was daytime. It was 3:25.
Oh, I don't know. I'm like, it would be so hard to see.
It was about as sunny as it gets in L.A.
Yeah, no, that's not a good look.
No, not a good look. And
That's tough. I was trying to help out.
I know. She's been charged with attempted murder, and we'll see how it all plays out. We'll update you as we get more information. Again, several stories say she either fired the gun or didn't fire the gun, but she did not fire it at the police. She fired it at the guy running through her yard, if she fired it at all. And she's now in custody. Now, Weezer's playing Coachella this weekend. Kind of a tough situation for Scott Schreiner. Also, it goes forward on his relationship. Your wife is charged with attempted murder, and you still play your gig.
Well,
how's that going to play out?
She's in jail. What is he going to do?
Well, honey, I guess you're okay, right? You got bread and water? Okay, cool. I'm going to go play for 70,000 people, and it's going to be sweet. We got a great set list today.
The problem is normally I would use the argument that music is an escape and maybe that he could, like, use the hour-long set to clear his head, but it's Weezer songs. Like, I don't know if I can buy that argument when they're like, living in Beverly. It's not an emotional band. I love Weezer. I think they're phenomenal. It's not a band that I, like, channel my emotions through.
Yeah, I'll be curious to find
That
out.
song doesn't make you cry? Are you even listening to it? Wow. Okay. Obviously not really in touch with poetic.
I apologize. With poeticness? I'm not in touch with poeticness. You're right, Kenzie.
Wow.
Well,
Check yourself.
the lesson here is
If I had a gun, I'd shoot you.
So that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
What?
That Kenzie had a gun, she'd shoot you.
But Brian, here's the thing. If you were allowed to own a gun and somebody was running through your yard, there's a crime scene in your yard, I know you. You're firing the gun.
I'm going to get Rambo's gun.
Oh, my God.
That fires like 10,000 rounds in a minute.
Be sure you don't want to miss.
The cops would have showed up and I would have said, dude, it's all taken care of. I got it. Take whatever you want.
They're like, no, we're here for you.
Yeah, I'm like Homer Simpson.
I'd like to buy your deadliest gun, please.
Aisle 6, next to the sympathy cards. Whoa, careful there, Annie Oakley.
I don't have to be careful. I got a gun.
Well, you'll probably want the accessory kit, holster,
Oh, yeah.
bandolier,
Baby.
silencer, loudener, speed cocker,
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
and this is for shooting down police helicopters.
Oh, I don't need anything like that. Yet. Just give me my gun.
Sorry, the law requires a 5-day waiting period. We've got to run a background check.
5 days? But I'm mad now. I'd kill you if I had my gun.
Yeah, well, you don't.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.